Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for coming in here tonight for this orientation for remote learning for parents. If I want to make sure my volume is working and that you can hear me. Can somebody in the chat room let me know if you can hear me or not? Perfect. All right. Well, welcome. Not going to be too long tonight. I'm hoping about 30 to 45 minutes at the most. We talked about the remote learning plan at different times, but really want to go through this plan in a lot more detail so that we're all clear, and especially on some of the instructional pieces that we have with it. I am recording this. We had a couple parents that were working tonight or had other obligations, so we are recording it, and we will get this out onto Sycamore hopefully tonight or tomorrow morning. So again, thank you for coming. This is the original document that's in our reentry plan. Nothing has changed with it since the last presentation, but going to go a little bit more in depth on the different pieces of it. Just wanted to confirm, I think most parents know that we are enrolled in the remote learning for 6-week increments. This first 6 weeks is running through September 25th. Around the 15th of the month, probably even a little bit sooner, the 11th, Friday the 11th, I'll be sending out email and notification to all families asking them to designate whether they'll be on remote learning for the second 6 weeks or in school. And both current students that are on remote and current students that are in school will have the opportunity to switch or stay where they're at. And so that will happen around the week of September 11th through the 18th, with decisions due by the 18th. And then that will take us up. 11/10 is actually an odd date, you might be saying, because it's a Tuesday, but that is the end of the first trimester. So it's a good point, again, to make that shift into the third session of remote learning. We did put in the official policy that was adopted by the Parish Finance Council about the tuition reduction. The two things I wanted to point out with this, and if anybody has any questions about it, you can talk to me privately, or that is, one, if we go full school remote learning, then this tuition reduction will no longer be in place. And then the second piece is that if you're already receiving a discount or tuition assistance in another way, that you can't have both the remote learning discount and the remote learning discount and the other tuition assistance that's being provided. Google Classroom is the platform that we will be using for our remote learning and actually here in school. And I said to everybody on Monday and Tuesday of this week that we already planned on having the teachers do their lesson planning in Google Classroom. This was help them prepare if we do need to go on full remote, so that they're practicing it, they're using it, different pieces like that. One of the things we did in our preparation for this year is we standardized the templates. And so the elementary students, you should have been invited to at least 2 classrooms that you will be required to participate in. One is from your classroom teacher. And so if you're a second grade teacher or a student, you would be part of Ms. Belmares's classroom. The other thing you should have received today, and if you didn't, please let me know, is an invitation to an attendance and announcements classroom. Attendance is expected on a daily basis for our students starting on Monday. And so there's a classroom that before you start on your assignments for your teacher, you'll go to that classroom, you'll watch the announcements for the day, you'll take part in our daily prayer, and then you'll just, check in and say, yes, I'm here today, and we'll be able to take your attendance in the Google Classroom. Will monitor your attendance. For middle schoolers, you're going to have 5 classrooms that you're required to go to. You'll have the Science and Social Studies, that's with Ms. Glazier, English and Religion with Ms. Shoemate, Math with Ms. Kurth, and Spanish with Senora Lynch. Then you as well will have the attendance and the announcements. And so we want to make sure that you're part of our community. It's on your honor, but it also want you to be part of our prayer life and part of our knowing what's going on here. So we do ask that you watch the announcements and then you do check in with attendance. All the other teachers, all the elective teachers will have Google Classrooms. They will be open and available to you but they will not be required in your participation. We're focusing the remote learning on those core classes, and Spanish has now been moved to a core class at the middle schoolers, with them having Spanish instruction on a daily basis. So that is Google Classroom, and you can see here in the picture, I just pulled up the first classroom I had on my screen. Ms. Glazier has it organized by science and social studies, and then you'll see every day there will be a posting of her lessons and what they're going to be doing and any materials that are connected to it. Textbooks, you should already have all those. Workbooks, all that should be in your possession. So if you feel like you're missing anything, please let me know and I will get them to you. Any questions so far about Google Platform or the 6-week sessions or any of that? Let me stop here and see if there's any questions about that, and then we'll move on. Okay, hearing none, and we'll stop for questions throughout as well. As I said, daily attendance is required. Your students are expected to be online daily. What time your students do their learning is flexible based upon the family needs. We have some, particularly younger kids, tend to need individual attention, and so if the parent's working during the day, then they might be doing their learning in the afternoon or the early evening. So there's not a set time. We decided to go with an asynchronistic model for this. There's not a set time for you to go on, but you are expected to be on a daily basis and submit it. Simply you go in and there's a question that it asks you, are you ready to learn today? And have you done the, are you ready to go? The question was asked, attached to the Google Classroom will be their live recording to watch. It won't be live. I can take you there right now and show you an example of the attendance and the announcements. Just 1 second and bear with me as I open it up. So these are Google Classrooms, remote distance, daily login. This is the page that you should have received an invitation to today. When you go into the classwork, you'll see 2 things. Here are the announcements from the last 2 days. When you open them up, there's a PowerPoint there or actually a video there that you can watch that takes you through the daily announcements. These are recorded ahead of time. I record them the night before or a couple nights before. This weekend, I'll probably be recording several morning announcements. And then we drop them in, and the students here at the school are participating in them. And we ask that you participate in them as well. Every day as well, we'll drop a daily attendance. So this is an example of Monday, September 14th, but they go all the way back to this Monday, August as well, but I'll show you this one. Did you view the announcements and prayer for today? Are you ready to learn? And then you check yes and submit, and you're all done with your attendance check-in. See, there's questions popping up, so let me open up the So a couple of questions that did come up. We did not receive a religion book. You may pick up one if you want. The other piece is that Ms. Shumate talked to me about that, and she forgot to put them in, and our apologies for that. She's going to be downloading the information as well, so you're welcome to get the book, or she'll also be putting it up on a digital copy up on the Google Classroom. You received your child has a Gmail email. It actually is an olacs.org email, and it has the way it works is it's their first 3 letters of their last name, the first letter of their first name, and then the year that they're going to graduate from here. So The seniors, it would be their first 3 letters of their last name, first letter of their first name, and then 21, and so forth. I think our kindergartners are 29. So that's how you will get in. You go to, those invitations were sent to your child's Gmail account, and they can go in and get them, and they should be looking at them. So if you don't have your login information, please let us know, and I'll be happy to get them to you. You can shoot me a text or an email, and I'll work on getting you all that tomorrow. I was asked if all the assignments for the week can be posted. Because they're being done at school, it's the same, they're the same ones being done at school. The teachers are going to be posting them on the day. It really isn't not practical for them at this point to do it a week ahead of time. But some of the classrooms are posting ahead of time. The question was asked, can classrooms go live for students that are able to be there at 8:15 through 3:15? We're not working it that way. There will be times where the teachers will say we're doing this lesson at 8:30. You're welcome to come on in, but we're not running the cameras all day long within the classroom. It's just not, we have several kids without permissions for them to be videotaped, and there's just too many issues, legal issues around just running the video camera all day long from 8:15 to 3:15. Let me go back to the PowerPoint, and I'll continue to answer questions as well. So the attendance is required of the students, and they just go in and answer that simple question. That's how it's taken. Let me talk about what the school is offering. For the remote learning, we're offering videos of whole group lessons. So when the teacher does, for instance, X and math, the first part of the lesson is the power up, the mental math, and then going into the new teaching of the concept, and then there's practice time. The teachers will be videotaping the new concept that's being taught, because that's the piece where the kids need that direct instruction. The power-ups will be sent to the children, have those in their workbooks that they were sent home with, and they'll be on the Google Plan that says complete power up. And then after they finish the power up and the mental math, they'll go into the piece around the video lesson. So we have the video lessons, daily lesson plans, and materials, and all materials. We'll be working with teachers to get all materials in there. Weekly Google Meets, office hours, so they're setting up, and I'm working with them tomorrow on getting a schedule. Working with them tomorrow to get the schedule for the office hours, but they'll all have 30 minutes of time where the students once a week can come on and interact and get questions met, ask questions of the teachers. Parents are welcome to go on, and parents are welcome to go on and get whatever support they need. Communication, we ask that you just communicate through Google Classroom. It will streamline it so that teachers aren't getting hit by communication in all different types of ways. They will respond to your emails and requests, but if you can do it through the Google Classroom, that will help them streamline it, and so that they're not being bombarded with questions from all different areas. And then the teachers will be doing grading and assessment. So it needs to be stressed, the assignments that need to be turned in are going to be graded. The students will be receiving in all the core content areas, A's, B's, C's, or whatever kind of grade the child gets based upon the grade level. They are going to be graded and held to the same standards of making sure they get the work done and are learning the material. It was asked, what are the passwords for the Chromebooks? I don't know that answer, but I'm going to quickly text Donna Size as we go through this, and I will try to find out that answer now. And if I can't find out that answer now, I will get it for everybody tomorrow. So let's go into a couple of these in depth. So we've got the answer, password 1, capital P with a 1, and then you can change it. Lessons and videos, just so that we're clear, the videos are going to be the same ones that lessons that the teachers are teaching in class. Lessons will be uploaded the day the teacher teaches the class, so they'll be loaded at 8 o'clock in the morning for the teacher to, for the kids to be working on it. But then the videos will be added by the following day. So if a teacher teaches a lesson, a whole group lesson at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, they'll be loading them up that afternoon and evening, and then they'll be ready for the students the following day. So our overall recommendation is that the students could work on Monday's lessons on Mondays without the videos, but we're actually recommending that the students work one day behind. And so they start working on Monday's work on Tuesday. Students are going to be invited at different grade levels, especially as we move through this. I think this will happen more often. They may be invited to go into live presentations in the classroom. One of the teachers, middle school teachers, was talking about doing a discussion group. The students will be invited and say, come at 9:30, go into Google Meets, and then they'll be able to participate. If your child is participating in the classroom discussion in the live classroom, we are asking that they be in uniform so that it's not distracting with them on the screen of different pieces, wearing different things. So they will be in school at that point in time. And so just like the news anchors, at least have that shirt on so that, and have the hair all done like they would be here at school. So please know that that will be coming from different teachers at times, and you're more than welcome to participate in those. Google Meets, we are moving from Zoom to Google Meets for a couple reasons. It works seamlessly with Google Classroom. Recording functions on it are really nice and sync with Google Classroom, and there's better security around it. So the teachers will have 30 minutes every week for office hours where you or the kids can come in and get some extra help. The schedule, I'm hoping to have it for the Sunday dispatch. Worst case scenario, I'll be able to get it out to you on Monday or Tuesday of next week. If you go on to the classroom splash page, the one that first comes up when you go into the classroom, there's a link right there in the center. I'll actually make this bigger for you. Sorry, I didn't realize I wasn't in presentation mode. The Google Meets, when you open up the classroom, it has this splash page that they actually call a stream. Up in the top, it has the name of the class. So I just picked on the second grade one. It has the teacher's information, but then there's a link right down here. So at any time you click that link, if the teacher is in Google Meets and actually doing a lesson, your student can join that one live. If you're going to do the office hours, that is the link that you'll use. So you won't need any passwords, you won't need any usernames. You just go, the security aspect is logging into the Google Classroom, and then there's the link for you. And because you logged in using your student's password and username, the credentials are there and they can go right into that classroom. So that link is always there for your students. Ms. Delmares was our tech support for parents during the spring when we had the original pandemic hit us. I will be your tech support. I've done a lot of growing in my knowledge of Google Classroom and would be thrilled to work with you. So if you're needing technology support, if I don't have the answer, I'll find the answer for you. If you need help with how do we get into Google Classroom, how do I upload lessons, anything like that, please, there's my contact information. I'll be the one that will help problem solve with you and get you what you need. So with that, those are the logistics I wanted to go through. Wanted to make sure you knew about the attendance, the Zoom, the weekly office hours, and the different pieces. What questions can I offer for you? It was asked if an OLA t-shirt would be acceptable. Absolutely. I know many of you said, I saw many of you said we're not going to buy the uniforms right yet. We've outgrown the uniforms and our kids are growing quickly. So if you have an OLA t-shirt, you can wear that just so that they are there with them. Should parents have their own Google Classroom login? It's actually a very interesting question. We can get your own login, but because of the way Google has it set up to try to meet FERPA laws, they limit the parent access to the kids' accounts. Your best bet is to have, so if you want us to set you up an account, I'm more than happy to do so, and you can get that. And then you can see the classroom as a whole, but you will not be able to see your own child's information. Doesn't make sense to me, but that's the way Google has done it and interpreted the laws. So the best bet for you is there's nothing that prevents us from giving you your own child's login information and password. That way you can log in and you can actually see their grades. You can see what they have done, what they haven't done. That's the best way to do it. If you do want your own account, again, you won't see your child's grades. It's the same thing with going to the medical doctors when your children turn 12 or 13 or whatever it is. But I would suggest going in through your students. The student logins, yeah. Actually, I will do this. Let me give you a template. Okay, so for the students, it is their first 3 letters of their last name, first letter of first name, year of graduation. So I'll give you an example. So 8th grade is 21, 7th grade is 22, 6th grade is 23, 5th grade is 24, 4th grade is 25, 3rd grade is 26, 2nd grade is 27, 1st grade is 28, and kindergarten is 29. We have no JKers on. So for my end, let's say I'm a 7th grader at the school, my login would be NESM22. So it's the first 3 letters of the last name, the first letter of the first name, and then the year they're graduating. All right, just trying to see if there's any more questions and bring up the chat screen. It's not letting me. Oh, there we go. All right. So I think I got all the questions answered. Are there any questions, anything? Again, I wanted to keep this simple, but I just wanted to make sure you as parents had everything you need to start your remote learning on Monday. All right. Thank you guys. Like I said, we have an amazing community here. It's yes, the domain is it's olacs.org. So make sure you have the A, Our Lady of the Assumption, CatholicSchool.org. So olacs.org. We have an amazing community here. You have my contact information. Text me, call me, email me. I'm happy to help. We respect the fact that you're on remote learning. We're doing everything we can to make sure we can do both well. And so please, you're part of our school, you're part of our family. I want to make sure that you feel like that and reach out to us as you need to. So I'll hang out if there's I'll hang around if there's any other questions, but everybody have a great night and God bless you and stay safe.